Hi, I'm Doug, the Floridian Santa, and I realized this past week as I was thinking through some of the jobs I've done, I shared a number of the jobs I had where I got a chance to be different characters, but I forgot about one where in this character I actually got to be Santa before I became this Santa. Let's get right to it. Many years ago, I shared how I used to work at Universal Studios, and before that, I worked at a hotel. It was in Orlando area, and in this hotel, they had this character, and the character was a raccoon. Now, the raccoon was their main character. They had another raccoon character, which was his wife, but the male raccoon was the main mascot of this hotel. And when I first started working there, I was one of the individuals that would put on the costume and would portray that character. And we would do different things from walking around the hotel. And they had a camp for kids, and we'd walk in and wave to the kids and, and play around with the kids a little bit. And they also had something where this raccoon character would tuck kids in bed at night, and they could sign up for it. But at Christmas, they had this special suit made where they dressed the raccoon up as a Santa. And the raccoon would, whoever was in the costume would sit in the chair so that kids could come in and get to sit on the Santa raccoon's lap. And the kids loved it, the parents loved it. The parents would take their picture, take pictures of their kids sitting on the raccoon's lap. And I was one that got to be in that costume. Now, the costume was very similar to the costumes you would see at any of the, the parks in the area like Universal Studios or Walt Disney World. It was very professional made, and I would be in that raccoon costume dressed as Santa, and it would get very hot in that costume. We would sit in there for about 30 minutes at a time, and then we would take a break, go so we could relax and cool off before we went back out there. And I got to do that, and in doing this, a number of kids would come and sit in the raccoon Santa's lap, and the parents would be taking their pictures and just enjoying the time and the moment when watching their children giggle and have a good time. And all the kids loved this raccoon character, and hardly any of them were afraid of it. And in a sense, it was kind of like just a big stuffed animal to most of these kids. Well, one of these days, while I was in the costume, I had the opportunity. My wife was off from work and brought my kids to come and sit in Santa's lap, the raccoon Santa. And that was my very first experience at actually portraying Santa Claus, and I had forgotten all about it. So as I shared before in the one video that I feel and believe I was destined to play Santa Claus. Well, as I was thinking about this this past week, this just proves it even more to me. I was Santa before I got to start becoming this Santa. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was hot in that costume, but it was a lot of fun to get to see the kids climb up on my lap and giggling and laughing, and the parents just smiling and giggling along with their kids while they took pictures. And they would take pictures for the parents as well and give them a photo for the ones that were staying there. But the parents were also taking pictures as well. And it really was an enjoyable time. Like I've shared before, I love making people happy. I love making children happy, and I love making adults happy as well. Bringing out the child in the adult. That's what I love to see, because there is a child in each one of us. Sometimes we forget about it because we get so caught up in our everyday hustle and everyday routine. But there really is a child deep down within each one of us. And that's what I like to see. That little sparkle that shows up in the eye, that shows up when they smile, when they laugh. And everyone loves Santa Claus. Now, I know that there are pictures of children who would cry when they would go see Santa for the first time, because I remember a picture my mom showed me when I was a baby and going to go see Santa for the very first time. And I didn't look like a little happy camper, not at first, but over the years, there were pictures of me sitting on Santa's lap, and even pictures you could see where I was talking to Santa and telling him what I would like. And it's that magic moment that I really love to see. And there's nothing better than giving joy to a child, or to the child that's inside the adult. Nothing more enjoyable to me than bringing joy to that person and seeing that spark light up in their eye. So I wanted to share this with you, that was thinking about it. So again, like I shared before, I do believe I was destined, born to eventually become Santa Claus. And now I have proof, so to speak, that I actually was Santa even before I ever thought about becoming Santa. Well, that's my story for this time. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, remember, I've written the children's book, Little Santa, A Wild Winter Whirl. It's available on Amazon. The link will be in the description. And thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And as always, remember, love never takes, but always gives. God bless.